this performer is a 2019 Grabby Award nominee. We know about the Gavian and the Avian. This is a Grabby Award nominee. This is Tigger Red. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm all about celebrating people's accomplishments, especially our Black men. Tell us about finding out that you were nominated for a Grabby Award. Tell us the significance of a Grabby Award.
So it was like this big scene that I was in New Orleans in 2018. And then I got nominated. I was like, wow, I never got nominated for a Part Award. So I was like, this is big. Coming from, being a Black entertainer in mainstream porn. So, hey, I know people say it's an honor to be nominated, but I wish I win. Hey, I was just like, I'm nominated as a slim Black twink.
Did that change your career any? Did you find yourself in new markets or anything after that?
I moved closer to Memphis to pursue my career that I graduated with, my degree. So I was like, okay, I can't really do what I want because I'm trying to settle from one city to the next. So it was kind of hard that I was working. And then 2019 came around, and then that's when I knew I wanted to move to Dallas, which I've always wanted to move. So I was in the transition of doing that. So I really never got my foot on the pedal from the wave of it. I did once. That's when I worked with a big company. But other than that, I really couldn't do anything with it.
You said you have a degree. What did you get your degree in?
In therapeutic recreation.
Like massages?
It's basically working with people with disabilities, handicaps, and impairments who need a cognitive way of their lifestyle, like people with depression, anxiety, working with retired VA vets, working with at-risk youth, people with special disabilities. So you just look at coping skills and assessment to see what triggers them or what pleases them in order to, keep a sustainable way of living.
How do you balance all that with a career in adult entertainment?
I retired, this is 2003. I retired in 2021 of April. It just felt time. My body and mentally, physically, I was just like, okay, I've done a lot. I mean, there's so much more else I can do. But, moving into a new city and working, get my footing in Dallas, it was a lot. And then, of course, I didn't do anything in 2019. 2020 came around. There was COVID. And I did like 2 or 3 different things in 2020 after the COVID kind of eased up, but not too much like during the summer. And then by 2021, I just did my last couple of shoots. That's when I transitioned over into, I did Just for Fans because I wasn't really doing studio. And because I already kind of had my mind on like, I really don't feel like doing this anymore. All the traveling and, the extracurricular activities, it gets tiring after a while.
How did you find yourself in adult entertainment?
I always was saying to myself, if I'm going to be out here having sex, I might as well get paid for it. And then I guess that's kind of where I discovered my exhibitionism side. And I would talk to my friends. And then as time went on, because I started really developing, like I really want to do this around 19, because I started at 21. And I would, got on Twitter. I found Twitter. And then that's when I met like I don't know how I found those guys, the entertainers on Twitter. And I would just talk to them because I was posting my stuff, my X-rated stuff on Twitter, but it was just pictures. And I found like the porn stars, the adult entertainers, and would just get their advice and just ask them. And that's when I became so much more intrigued. And I mean, I'm a little country boy from Mississippi. So it's like, this is like stardom.
Did you apply on a website? Did you hit somebody up and say, hey, I'm trying to do a scene with you? Like, what was that first scene like? And what was going through your mind when you first did it?
Well, I had the guys, they just gave me all the advice, how to set up your portfolio, the type of pictures to take, the angles and things, what to say. And then they would say, well, okay, we'll put in work for you. So I applied to some companies. I know Black Rain was hitting me up before I even applied to anyone. I applied to this one company in New York. We did the interview. Did the interview at an old friend house because he had a better webcam on my laptop. And we just talked the things, but nothing really transpired because at that time it was like, well, you're cute and you look like you can take some good meat. And the one thing they would say, oh, well, we need you to bulk up because I was maybe 115, 120 at that time. So I was like really slimmer than what I am. And it was like, okay, we need you to bulk up because you're a little too thin. So I said, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I changed my diet. I was going to the gym. I was doing protein and eating differently. And I did that for like a month or two, no progress because my metabolism was so high. So of course I reached out to the guy, sent him pictures, like, okay, you look a little bigger, muscular, but we still need you to bulk up, bulk up. So at that point, I just got mad and said, if this is what this is gonna be, I'm just gonna say forget it because I can't gain weight. I not at that moment. I'm 20, 21 years old. I'm in college. I mean, I didn't hit my freshman 15. Well, I was a junior then because I did 2 years at a junior college, but I didn't gain weight. All I do is eat, and it goes nowhere. I just can't something I can't do. So it was making me feel unhealthy because I'm forcing so much in me, and it's making me sick. So we got into like a little spat about it, and never heard from him again. So I just said, this ain't, maybe it's not for me. But it's so weird because they want the Black guys to be super muscular, thick, or whatever. But I'm looking at some of the white guys. I'm like, this 18-year-old is 130 pounds. Or I'll say, 130. He's like 125. I'm 120. I have abs. He don't. It's just like a flat washboard surface. He's like, oh, but you can tell the difference. I said, my thighs are thicker than here. My arms are bigger than him. Like I have more definition. This is just like a plaster. But I said whatever. So I reached out to another company, not Raw City Tweet. Can I say the name on here?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what rating this was. It was Raw Strokes. My parents didn't know where I was at. My mom, my stepdad with my dad, and because I never told them. So I texted my friend like, "Hey, I'm at the airport. I went through TSA. I didn't know I took my shoes off and all this." Like I said, I've never been to the airport. Get to LA. My friends was like, "Send me all your information," because we was in a group chat. So of course I sent them that. The guy picked me up, got myself together. He came, was like, "Did you sleep good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just a little nervous. Like, I've never had a camera up my ass before. I never had a camera in my face telling me, directing me to have my body or something. I mean, I just did the do and handle my business." So the guy came. I remember my first shoot. His name was Dale. Cool guy. He pulled off his pants and his dick went to his knees. I'm like, God, I'm really about to do this. So I was already nervous. And then he told me that he doesn't eat ass. And I'm like, that's really what gets me going. And I didn't say that because I'm trying to be professional, but it's my first time. And I'm thinking in my head, oh God, it's going to be one of those days. Okay, so I had to amp it up a little. So not only do you want me to swallow this elephant trunk, but I don't get my ass ate. Oh, hell. So we made it work, though. It was good. It would have been better if I would have got my ass ate.
How much did you get paid the first time?
Models that were new with them got paid $500 because I did 2 shoots. My second one was 10 times better. That was the one that people really think it's my first one. It was me and Knockout, which it came out first. I got paid $500 each for that. So I made a nice little, quick check.
You spoke about a couple of things. One of the things that stood out was, applying for a position in a company, as one of the models, they were talking about your weight. And what a lot of people overlook is the fact that adult entertainers are still people. So how have the requirements that are created, how do they impact your self-esteem? Like, how do you keep a high self-esteem as an adult entertainer?
Like I had mentioned, I'll put myself in that mindset. Like, I'm not gonna make myself sick to please somebody else who can go out and get somebody else. Or like I said, I wasn't crazy. You telling me I'm too skinny, but the other person who's 5 pounds heavier than me with that looks 5 pounds thinner than me was appropriate. But me being a person of color, you no matter if I'm applying to be a twink, because a twink was a skinny boy, like the little barely legal young boy that older guys want to fuck. And me and this guy the same age, and you're telling me I need to be bigger. So I already had that preconception that this is how it's gonna always be, no matter from a black bottom or a black top. You want me to be defined a certain way that I cannot be. And that's what, I would used to see it back in studio. You would see nothing but a black top is muscular. White tops are muscular. You would always see a top that's muscular, but you'll see skinny white boys, but you would still see muscular black guys or lean black guys. I'm a twink. I can't do that. I can go to the gym. I'm just gonna tone up abs. I'm just gonna be more defined. I couldn't gain weight. So that's why I was just saying that this is not for me. And then I went back to the drawing board and reached out to other people. And then, of course, that's when I did majority of my work with Raw Strokes. And for the longest, I was the only black twink in mainstream, because you've seen other skinny black guys in porn, but mainstream working with a lot of the more interracial and white companies, not predominantly black, I was the only one doing that around that era. Before, and then OnlyFans and stuff started coming out in 2017. And then that's when you see more guys. And somebody would tell me, well, he slim. Like, no, I was 120 pounds soaking wet. I was the only skinny black boy taking monster dick in these videos. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm above nobody or anything like that. I'm not cocky or arrogant, but I was the only skinny black dude in mainstream.
You talked about having very supportive friends. Did your family ever find out?
Yes, my family found out because I knew my hometown is small, and I heard a rumor that was going around saying that somebody had seen a link on Tumblr, and it was sending a link around town, and everybody's found out that it's gonna come full throttle. So I was trying to wait to the right time to tell my mom and my dad. And I was at work one night and my phone was just blowing up. I had like 20 missed calls from my mom, my auntie. That's like, call us now. And I was like, oh my God, shit finna hit the fan. So I got myself together. I got off work. I got in my car. I parked, and mama called me just fussing and yelling and cussing and everything. She was like basically saying, who got you doing that? Are you on drugs? Like, are you prostituting? Like, you stuck with somebody? Like, they thinking I'm a pimp. My mama and both my mama ain't like, I got a pimp. I'm on drugs. I need money. Like, they thought I was in some kind of trouble. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this for me. They didn't believe it. I'm like, nobody got me anything. I'm not on any drugs. So it was a lot of hurtful stuff said. It was out of love and confusion and hurt. So the next day, I talked to my dad. My stepdad is so understanding because I'm an adult. I was 21, and we had to talk about it. He said, "Why you just didn't tell me? I could have prepared your mom." Because he said, "You know, your mom is dramatic." So I said, "I don't know, Dad. I was just trying to find the right time, and I could never find the right time." So he talked to my mama, calmed her down. He told me the conversation, just said, don't you yell at Sherrod, don't fuss at him, don't argue with him, just listen to what he got to say, because he's an adult and these are his decisions. He's not a baby no more. Like, we have to hear him out, because the more you fight him on this or argue or yell and finger point, he's gonna push you away. And you guys both have to live with that resentment, because I mean, me and my mom were close. So she calmed down. She was like, if these are your mistakes, I gotta let you make your mistakes. I can't hold your hand no more. You're grown. And my auntie did the same thing. So over time, my mama just brushed it under the rug. She was like, if you out there doing that stuff, she said, just be careful. And she said, I don't really want to talk about it.
So that's one area. Has it affected your dating life?
I've dated guys that didn't care about it. I know one of the most recent guys I dated here for a small amount of time. We were just having a conversation. He was like, "If you ever was to do porn again, I'm like, we're breaking up." I'm like, no, he didn't say that. He said, "You're not allowed to do that again." I'm like, last time I checked, today is my birthday, and I'm 28, so I'm allowed to do whatever I want. What the fuck you mean I'm not allowed? Last time I checked, you ain't got damn bill. You ain't paying no rent. Like, you want to contribute to some rent, some groceries. I mean, hey, if you do that, then we can have an understanding that I'm not allowed to get my booty up no more on camera. But you put no gas in my car, so. But we still cool. We didn't break up because of that. We had another issue.
Do you like possessive men?
I like possessive men to an extent because again, I like myself more. And I don't mind an aggressive guy as long as that aggression is at a like 4. Don't get real aggressive, snatching, the disrespect. If you're gonna call me a bitch, it better have some kind of love to it.
I gotta ask this. So of course your content is out in the world, and once these things are out, they're out. There's no taking them back. Do you ever worry that it may affect you in the future?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think now people are, I would say businesses are more susceptible to kind of, if it's not really put out there, especially like now people work from home, nobody sees your face and know who you are. I never put my real information out there, and if they was to find it, I'd say, hey, you found it, here I am. I can't change it. It's in my
Right.
past. We all got to pass.
So going back, if you could name one memory that you've had that stands out the most from all your experiences, what is that memory? Like the wildest experience that you've had on set? And 2, who have you enjoyed working with the most?
I have 2. The biggest one that I always talk about was me performing at Hustler Ball, which is another award show, gay award show, and like big thing because I got flown to Vegas, and the guy was like, "Hey, we heard you're gonna be in Vegas." Like the people that was over, and yeah, I'm coming for some shoots. It was like we would love to have you at Hustler Ball, which is like a live performance where you got go-go dancers, porn producers, photographers, bloggers, and it's at a big bathhouse, and they have people having sex on stage, and it was like we want you to perform on stage.
And have sex on stage.
Yes, and I'm like, wait, what? You want me to perform one of the biggest gay award show stages? Wow. And because they don't even get skinny white boys to perform, let alone black guys. They do have black guys, but it's of course few and in between. But they have, the muscular guys. It's all muscle. You got muscle baller, muscle versus muscular guys, lean guys with bodies. And I mean, I had a little cupcake booty with a little bit of abs. So they're like, we want you here. And I'm like, oh my God, I have made it. So they sent the little marquee promotion, like put this as your background on your Twitter page. I put it up so proud. I made sure everybody see every name, the date, my smile. I made sure it was bright and I was ready. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, because even the bigger dogs, they have never performed. And this is going into my second year of porn. Like I've been doing porn like a year and a half now. And some of the people who's been in for 5, 10 plus years have not gotten an invitation to perform. And I'm like, this is gonna put me up there. Oh, I get there, I'm in the locker room, and I see so many people that I may follow online and some follow me back. Like, oh my God, that's what you call it. I'm like, oh, he's really small. Like Amon Rizzo, sweet thing, little muscle bottom. He's so nice every time I meet him. He was like, I knew he was short, but I didn't know he was that short. Like, he is so short, but he's muscular. I'm like, oh my God. And I've seen like people that I chatted with. And I'm just nervous because I'm taking off my clothes. And again, I'm like a string bean in a field of milkshakes. And I was like, okay, you're going on stage at 12. So I get on stage. I had 2 other guys. We introduce ourselves. and it's like a crowd of people just naked, half naked in harnesses, jock straps, doing whatever they need to do in the crowd. I'm on stage getting fucked by two muscular dudes in a sit swing. It was a quick show. It was like 30 minutes. It wasn't like a long thing. It was just enough to get the crowd going. And it was just so surreal because I'm nervous just being in a small room with people. You put me on stage with people in the crowd looking at you, and it's like, oh, this is not your normal crowd. This is a sea of predominantly white, and you got the little skinny boy getting fucked by the white dude and the Latino guy, and it's like, yeah, I said, you know how you had your little two people on your shoulder. One person's like, "Oh my god, you're so nervous." The other one like, "Bitch, get this money, get this exposure, let's go." We got done. That was just like one of the biggest. We was there till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I was so exhausted. I felt so icky too, and I'm like, oh, I feel like sex, sex and germs and hot tub water. Like, oh, but at that moment, like in that moment, I didn't care. But I'm a big germaphobe. I put on my clothes. I'm like, ew, I need a shower. I need a shower and a penicillin shower.
Who has been your favorite fellow entertainer to work with?
Matt's Connor. We always have good chemistry. He is a sweetheart. I know he has haters left and right, but me and Matt's always have a great time. And even when I went to New York, I did OnlyFans just a fan video, just being up there, just chilling when we wasn't doing nothing. We're laying on the couch playing video games, watching movies, being fatties, eating food till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, just enjoying each other company.
Last question. What has your journey as an adult entertainer, what has it taught you? What have you learned? What lesson sticks out to you most?
I tell people if they want to do this, it's easier to do this now because I mean, all you need is a ring light, some good content, and some people from Twitter. So I mean, you have it easier now. But don't take it for granted. Be nice to people. If you're gonna do OnlyFans, just have some kind of model agreement or some kind of DocuSign, so that way, because I've been one of the reasons I retired was I had an issue with used to be buddy of mine who did not give me the video, so I was a part of that, which I do have slight parts blame to myself because I always make sure I get my video before I leave the room. But of course, I consider this person a friend, which we are not, and we have not spoken in almost 2 years. So I tell them, be careful, do your research, ask people, just ask people how this person is. That's what I did. If somebody have an attitude about it, then it just tells you what type of person you're dealing with. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself because these people don't care what they got. They're going to try to get this content and leave you looking crazy and feeling some type of way at the doctor's office. So I'm like, take care of yourself. Make sure you don't leave without your content because they may not send you the full video, but if you got the rough edits, hey, you can paste your own stuff and sell it on your own page.
Tigger, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you for having me. I'm always happy to share.